By this time, you should have received this file on the classroom policies for Mr. McLeod's 328 Level 1 Honors Chemistry class. This is for the 2015-2016 year. The first thing is I won't even really talk about it. It has to do with behavior and conduct, and you can read it. Communication. We will be using Schoology as a main communication device. Besides that, parents, the best way to get in touch with me is by email, unless there's a way in which through Schoology we'll be able to set up some kind of Schoology email system. But right now, the parents can reach me at McLeod, that's the spelling of my last name, at duxbury.k12.ma.us. The learners really shouldn't be emailing me because they can just see me in class or talk to me some other time. For grades, the grades will be on the portal, and by contract I will need to update them every 2 weeks, which I will. I usually, when I get all the grades for a particular assignment, I usually put them up as soon as I can. Tests and other graded things, I usually wait until I've shown the students or the learners, whichever you want to say it, their grade before I put it up. The overall term grade will be determined by the following percentages. Tests will be 60% of the overall term grade. Homework and quizzes will be 15%, and a project and labs will be 25%. And hopefully that will make 100%, which I believe it does. There are no extra credit options, and there is no makeup. In essence, there's no retaking of tests. If you're not there the day of the test, you have to take it. But I mean, like second chances. Okay, so that's how the grades are gonna, how the overall term grade is going to be. With respect to tests and quizzes, they can be announced and unannounced quizzes. Usually I don't give unannounced quizzes unless people aren't doing their work. If you're not there for the quiz, you need to make it up by next class. The quizzes, if you look at the grading overall term grade system, the quizzes are actually embedded into the homework, not into the tests. It's just how I designed quizzes. Quizzes are usually short questions that I'm going to check what you did for work. Tests are going to be announced in Schoology. Usually the tests told a couple classes before the test actually takes place. Learners need to make up the test if they miss it because they were absent. They need to do it as quickly as possible. I do not give back tests until all the learners have taken the test. Homeworks. I will check that the homeworks are being done. And that usually consists of me walking around to make sure that you have accomplished them. You must have them when they ask for them, and if not, they're zeros. I am looking that you try them. So empty spaces mean you didn't try them. So I always get the comment of, well, I didn't understand. Well, you can at least write down the information from the question or an equation or something to show that you tried. Okay. Um, if you're not present when I check the homework, you will not show it to me next class. It will just be excused from the grading. If you have a lot of them, a lot of excused homework assignments, that means that you're not around. So it's not a problem of homework, it's a problem of attendance. So that's just how I check homework. The homework will, what homework you do and when you do it will be on Schoology. Notebooks. So basically, this is what do you have to have for my class? You need a 3-ring binder where your chemistry information will reside. How you actually organize your chemistry 3-ring binder, I don't care, but it can only be for chemistry. So the whole binder is just for chemistry. And you bring it every single day, including the days of the tests. I don't mind that you use, how you actually present it. It just needs to be there. And having a 3-ring binder and putting all the pieces of paper in the sleeve in the front is not considered a notebook. It's considered loose leaf papers. So put the papers into the notebook. You will also have a lab notebook that's only for lab material. You can either use a single 3-hole spiral-bound notebook, those one-subject notebooks that have the metal spiral bindings, or you can use a composition notebook. If you use a composition notebook, you want to make sure the binding is not simply like a piece of like paper binding. You want a little bit more, almost like a cloth binding. You can find them when you open the book, open the lab note, the composition notebook up, and you open it up, and you can tell by how the pages are sticking together near the binding if it's good enough. It's going to be used all year long, so you don't want a not cheap one, but one that the binding isn't very sturdy. All your lab information is going to be taped or written into the notebook, and you are going to have to do lab reports, okay, which will be graded either by taking the lab notebook, or actually as lab tests. There will be no electronic submissions for the labs, all done in your lab notebook. Okay, so that's what you'll need. You also need a calculator. If you use a TI calculator for math, that's fine. Or get a Casio's solar calculator. It just has to have scientific functions on it. Okay, and then the other thing is paper and pencil and all that stuff. Okay, and the last one is I believe is extra help. Everybody will need extra help sometimes. People will want to work in groups, which is perfectly okay to get help from other people. That's a good place to get it. But if you need more help, you can come before school, after school to see me. Remember that Wednesdays, the second 2 Wednesdays of the month, are faculty and department meetings, so I won't be able to help you after 3 o'clock. Just come after school. Just come and talk to me to tell me you come actually for extra help. Don't email me. Just, either in class or after class, to say, hey, I need some extra help. Can I come in before after school? And the other thing is there's a sign-in sheet for extra help. Please, every time you have extra help, sign up so that I know, there's a record that you're coming in for extra help. So that's about it for the class policies. There most likely to be things that I've forgotten, but that's a pretty good basis. Thank you.